Yes, so good evening. I'll be discussing about the exclusive economic zone. So, under Article 55 of the UNCLOS, the exclusive economic zone is an area beyond and adjacent to the territorial sea, subject to the specific legal regime established in this part, under which the rights and jurisdiction of the coastal state and the rights and freedoms of other states are governed by the relevant provisions of this convention. So let us use this picture to determine where is the exclusive economic zone. So let us imagine that this is our example of our sea. So first you can see the internal waters as discussed by our classmates. The baseline, the dotted lines is considered as the baseline. So 12 nautical, if you add 12 nautical miles, that is what you call territorial sea. Add another 12 nautical miles, equivalent to 24 nautical miles, that will be considered as the contiguous zone. Next, from the baseline of the territorial sea, you measure 200 nautical miles, and then that will be our exclusive economic zone. So after that, there is the internal water or the high seas. Then, as you can see in the PowerPoint, the continental shelf. So the rights and jurisdictions and duties of the coastal state in the exclusive economic zone. First, that in the exclusive economic zone, the coastal state has sovereign rights for the purpose of exploring and exploiting, conserving and managing the natural resources, whether living or non-living, of the waters superjacent to the seabed and of the seabed and its subsoil, and with regard to other activities for the economic exploitation and exploration of the zone, such as the production of energy from the water, currents, and winds. The jurisdiction as provided for in the relevant provisions of this convention with regard to, first, the establishment and use of artificial islands, installation, and structures. Second, the marine scientific research. And third, the protection and preservation of marine environment. And there are other rights and duties provided for in this convention. So let us be reminded that in exercising its rights and performing its duties under this convention in the exclusive economic zone, the coastal state shall have due regard to the rights and duties of other states and shall act in a manner compatible with the provisions of this convention. The rights set out in this article with respect to the seabed and subsoil shall be exercised in accordance with the Part 4 of this convention. According to Article 58, rights and duties of other states in the exclusive economic zone is that, first, in the exclusive economic zone, all states, whether coastal or landlocked, enjoy, subject to the relevant provisions of this convention, the freedoms referred to in the Article 87 of navigation and overflight and of the laying of submarine cables and pipelines and other international lawful uses of the sea related to these freedoms, such as those associated with the operation of ships, aircraft, and submarine cables and pipelines, and compatible with the other provisions of this convention. And under Article 88 to Article 115 and other pertinent rules of international law apply to the exclusive economic zone insofar as they are not incompatible with this part, which is the Article 58. In exercising their rights and performing their duties under this convention in the exclusive economic zone, States shall have due regard to the rights and duties of the coastal state and shall comply with the laws and regulations adopted by the coastal state in accordance with the provisions of this convention and other rules of international law insofar as they are not incompatible with this part. Under Article 57 of the UNCLOS, the exclusive economic zone shall not extend beyond 200 nautical miles from the baseline from which the breadth of the territorial sea is measured. I have shown you the distance of the exclusive economic zone a while ago. Pursuant to Article 64, Section 4 states that nationals of other states fishing in the exclusive economic zone shall comply with the conservation measures and with the other terms and conditions established in the laws and regulations of the coastal state. These laws and regulations shall be consistent with the convention and may relate inter alia to the following. A. Licensing of fishermen, fishing vessels, and equipment including payment of fees and other forms of remuneration which in the case of developing coastal states may consist of adequate compensation in the field of financing, equipment, and technology relating to the fishing industry. B. Determining the species which may be caught, and fixing quotas of catch, whether in relation to particular stocks of groups of stocks or catch per vessel over a period of time, or to the catch by nationals of a state during a specific period. C. Regulating seasons and areas of fishing and the types, sizes, and amount of gear and the types, sizes, and number of fishing vessels that may be used. D. Fixing the age and size of fish and other species that may be caught. Specifying information required of fishing vessels, including catch and effort statistics and vessels positions report. Requiring, under authorization and control of the coastal state, the conduct of specified fisheries research programs and regulating the conduct of such research, including the sampling of catches, disposition of samples, and reporting of associated scientific data. The placing of observers or training on board such vessels by the coastal states. The landing of all or any part of catch by such vessels in the ports of the coastal states. Terms and conditions relating to joint ventures or other cooperative arrangements. Requirements for the training of personnel and the transfer of fisheries technology, including enhancements of the coastal states' capabilities of undertaking fisheries research, and endorsement procedures. 5. The coastal states shall give due notice of conservation and management laws and regulations. Did you know that in 1986, Franco-Canadian Fisheries Arbitration, fish processing within the exclusive economic zone is not subject to the jurisdiction of the coastal state? Pursuant to Article 73, enforcement of laws and regulations of the coastal state may, in the exercise of its sovereign rights to explore, exploit, conserve, and manage the living resources in the exclusive economic zone, take such measures including boarding, inspection, arrest, and judicial proceedings as may be necessary to ensure compliance with the laws and regulations adopted by in conformity with this convention. The arrested vessels and their crews shall be promptly released upon the posting of reasonable bond or other security. Coastal state penalties for violation of fisheries laws and regulations in the exclusive economic zone may not include imprisonment in the absence of agreements to the contrary by the states concerned or any other form of corporal punishment. In cases of arrest or detention of foreign vessels, the coastal state shall promptly notify the flag state through appropriate channels of the action taken and of any penalty subsequent imposed. And in 1997, MV Sega case, Tribunal for the Law of the Sea, Customs, use of force in enforcement. And other states have the right to navigation, overflight, laying cables, and pipelines. So that ends my presentation with regards to the exclusive economic zone.